Oi, oi. Happy Saturday, the 28th of November 2020. Here again, trading the UK horse races like financial markets. So, Saturday today, so there should be plenty of activity going on. And again, just keeping to low stakes for now, £2 stakes. Looking to scale up here every day on Twitch. Then uploaded to YouTube after. So if you find this useful, do head on over to YouTube, give it a like, subscribe as well, or on Twitch, subscribe as well. It's just Mr. Exchange Trader. All right, let's crack on. Let's see what's going on. What is going on? Just get my correct screens up. Oh, what's going on, mate? Let's see. So we have got 8 minutes to the off, so not that long off, at least for me. Favourite coming in, found support at previous lows. Looks like it could go into resistance at the previous lows we saw around here, going back here. Second favourite, not as big a range, but I mean it's certainly viably a channel here. It's found support at these lows here. Seeing some resistance at these highs here, which it could attack again and potentially move back down into the channel, or it could break out. Third favourite here is on a gentle drift. Didn't check the volume. 40 grand matched, not bad. I mean, it's a easy type book, could be better, but see if I can structure a trade based on it. So let's see. So it's 5.5. So it looks like it's hitting resistance around these levels on the second favourite. I wanted to say it's finding support off the 5, but it doesn't. It doesn't look like that. It's these charts are really hard to read. Okay, in fact, it does look like it's higher low in this move here is the 5s, so it could be finding support off of that. So what would I need to see to be long on this? I'd need to see this. Ideally coming in, so this could be finding resistance off of the 5s, which obviously is going to move this down and push this up, or could do, yeah. And it has, and I was no skin in the game, so too late to that, just chatting away. I could find resistance at these 5s, could look in to take a short position there. Although I'm skeptical. Oh, what am there? Oh, new feature I found there. Right clicking. Don't know what the hell that's doing. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, concentrate on it. I'm just skeptical of this here approaching these lows. This could break these previous lows. It's pretty hard to see on this chart. But the reason I'm not jumping on short in that or going long on that is it could be coming into support as it approaches its previous lows. So what is that? It's about 4.4 I'm guessing it must be. So a break much lower and a pullback could be a reason to be short on this or long on this. But I'm just looking for more clarity to come to fruition. Oh, it's very flowery language, isn't it? So let's keep it real. Resistance does look like it could be holding, although no, it's broken. So it's broken higher. See, chart was slow, but I already seen it in the channel, in the ladder. So it's approaching 6s now. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to pass on this one. I'll just give myself a bit more time because these Saturday ones, bloody hell, they're every 5 minutes. I'm just trying to give myself a bit more lead time because I seem to have a bit more success when I've got 15 to 10 minutes to the off. Of course, other traders much prefer that last 5 minutes because there will be more volatility, but my stats say different for me. So we've got here favourite at 3s, second favourite also at 3s. So I'm seeing the favourite here, reasonably rangy, started to potentially steam here, but coming into support of these previous lows, which is around 3s. So that's a crossover point, so that's a good reference point just to have in mind. It could bounce off of that and find support, or it could bust lower. Second favourite here, very rangy, kind of channel bound. So it's just bouncing off of these lows here, these support that goes way back here. That's very strong support, these previous lows. Have also reappeared here, which is where the price is at now. It could attack these highs here and find resistance. There was also previous resistance there. So, what are we going to do? Yeah, not looking to jump in and lose money anytime soon unnecessarily. Okay to lose money, but you know, it's got to be a good story to reason to get into the trade. If I'm just throwing money at it just for the sake of it, no matter how small or big the amount is, there's got to be a reason behind why I'm taking a position. Not just trading for trading's sake. So just trying to ascertain what's happening here. They both feel like they're moving it into support, which is not really what you want. You want some kind of divergence in these top two. But if anything, this does have a bit more of a bias to the downside, just because in this most recent move, this has been, you know, longer move of lower lows and lower highs, whereas this has been a bit more rangy and finding support. So you could see as it comes into 3s, this does in fact, you know, start to diverge, and this move lower and this bounce and move higher. In fact, is this lagging again, this bloody chart? Of course I could preempt it, put in a short now, but that is slightly more risky because in fact, this is what I'm going to do. Slightly more risky because it hasn't been confirmed by the market as of yet, and 3s is a good reference point. I know at 3s it's a psych level, so people are going to be you know, more inclined to be you know, buying or selling around that price. So this is a bit of a speculative move. I'm anticipating that the price could break 3s, or at least find support at 3s. At least with this position here, I'll have some skin in the game to potentially take advantage of that. But let's just put the 1 in for now. Let's just see how this plays out. So I've got varying positions in here. Should the price kind of pull back to get me in, but my assumption is the price could move lower. So I've got some skin in the game. Is taking out my first, or potentially taking out my first exit here, and of course that will leave me at a net stake of 0 if that gets taken out and these don't. So I'll be flat, but I am potentially looking to add to this position, but it has to be at the right price. You can see here that support's holding, so it makes sense that I'm taking money off the table before waiting for it to break and make new lows, because it's quite probable that it will at least reach this level 3s and then bounce, or you know, or move lower. But this way I've taken some money off the table without having to worry about what it does. This support, thank you, this support is also useful for the context of the trade, but again I want to see this hold and move higher, and this break and move lower, ideally with some a position in. Okay, got filled there, so got net stake of 4. Got all of these positions filled, so just need to make sure it's not too heavy. Net stake of 8, I'll be, wanting to endure. So got all of those filled. Now I need to see this hold as resistance, and ideally this start to move up for what I anticipate to work. Oh dear, it's gone against me. So how bad has that break been? So it could just be encountering, a pullback before potentially moving lower, or it could be a potential reversal. That looks more like a reversal, or potential. Come on, upload, load. There we go. So I'm less inclined to think that this could, break to make new lows beyond 3s, but I still feel it could at least hit some support. So I'll maintain these positions. I'm not panicking too much just yet, but yeah, have to be wary that what I'd anticipated would happen hasn't, and so I need to act accordingly. Just keep an eye on the clock as well. 3 minutes. All right, what I'm going to do is just thin this position out slightly. So I've moved this up to effectively take a lower profit or a small loss. Seeing this come into resistance now, which is going to help this potentially move lower. But it is moving off again on me. Do. 2 minutes. It's going to be quite close to the wire, really. A bit closer than I'm accustomed to. I have to be careful with these Saturday markets because they do come frequently here, so I've got less lead time. Okay, you need to act on this. What's happening here? Is that broken those highs? These are both drifting. Something must be coming in pretty strong. Can't just watch this. There we go. Mug buying at the top here, or selling at the top. I did take out some of that position at a very high price, but needs must. Time is ticking down. I've got a losing position. Need to mitigate that risk. Still got £4 to lay off. Just take these out. Ugh, what a way to start the day. But that is the reality of it. £1.53. Read it up. Yeah, that's a horrible start to the day, but that's the way she goes sometimes. Yeah, I'll need to watch that back to see what I would have done wrong there. Obviously not letting that deter me, but it's yeah, that's the way it goes. It can be wins and losses, but just need to put that behind you and move on. And obviously it's another sign. That's why I start with small stakes, because I need to iron out the any issues before scaling up. So we've got here an odds-on favourite, very choppy, 5 minutes see off. I can see opportunity here, but let's see what we can make of this. But so we got a favourite, very choppy, hitting resistance, bouncing off support, these lows. So it's moving with a channel. Second favourite moving in, steaming in. Looks like it could be finding support at these new lows, but could punch lower. So fours punch past 4s would be interesting to potentially get on that as a short. 75 grand matched, decent amount matched. Okay. Slightly less time than I'd like. What was this low? 1.7, just above. So this coming into this support could help push this lower. I think that's what I done last time, wasn't it? I preempted the break, which, you know, I can do here as well. And it might just be the same thing. That's why I was saying from the get-go on that last one, I was preempting it moving lower without seeing a confirmation yet, which was a slightly riskier approach. Came to bite me in the arse. But let's see if we can learn from that. So a break of 4s with a pullback would be a good premise for an entry, or potentially going long on this. 3 minutes though. Fuck. That's moving in. All right. I'm seeing this shift in, which is why I'm looking to lay this here. So it's a bit of a contrarian move here, because this effectively is just saying down, right? So I'm hoping now that this doesn't break 4s and it finds support, and it does break 4s. I've got less time to maneuver. Oh, this is a terrible start to the day. Let's see if we can mitigate that. Dear, oh dear. So it could still come back and find resistance here. As it's broken, it has a tendency to pull back to find resistance of what was previously support. So I'm just gonna put in a position on that premise. But yeah, it should have been short. Well, it could have been short on that. I mean, it wasn't too bad with the premise of that entry, but yeah, just read up on that and move on. So 2 losses to start the day. Again, you can see I'm not chasing. I'm not like, oh, you know, I'm not trying to double up or add, you know, more money to the positions to make back what I've lost. It's just a case of focusing a bit more, really, and not being at the same time not being too defensive, but not being too aggressive as well. So it's balancing act. Let's see when the next one is. 12:20. 6 minutes to the off on this. I'm just gonna, you know what, I'm gonna skip this one. I'm gonna move on to the next one, just so I can ease into it a bit more with a bit more time to evaluate what's going on, rather than, oh, it's only 15 grand match though. That is not good. It's very low liquidity. This is 52. I can see stuff that I can trade in this, but it's just a bit too far gone for my liking. 3.75. These highs here. So a punch above that would be good. This is steamed in. Yeah, okay. I'm just trying to get on this because I've seen it break resistance. I think at 375. So I'm happy to take a position on this. probably makes sense to try and take money off before fours. What did I get in at? 3.8. Yeah, that. Oh, hang on. That's coming in to approach fours. Oh, should I? This breaking fours is going to likely see a surge in this move up if it breaks. Oh, but it retraced. Let's get out on that. Oh shit, that was my closing order. Focus. Oh mate, just giving it back. Not focusing at all there. Right, let's just take a breather here. What are we looking at? 3 minutes to off. Right, let's get filled on this. Gave about a tick back there. Well, if this gets filled, potentially it's a loss or break even, but god damn it. That should get filled. Break even. Right, next. That was I was right overall on what I was anticipating, but I was just slow on the execution, not reacting accordingly to in a timely fashion to what I was seeing. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and get something with a bit more lead time to it, just so I've got, you know, a bit more than 5 minutes to work with. 12 minutes to off, 20 grand matched, which is not great. What's after that? Right, I'm going to work with this one. So I've skipped the next one and I've moved on to the one after that. So there's a 17-minute lead time on this. So we have got a near enough odds on favourite here. It's currently at 2, so near an odds on. Favourite has come in. It's found support just above 2s by looks of it. Second favourite here at 3s has it's been quite rangy, started to drift, potentially come into resistance of these previous lows here, which was previous support coming into it here. This has been a gentle drifter. Just have a quick reorder. This has drifted as well, but super high odds. So let's see. And that's just, I mean, those last, you know, the first trade, the one after it, it's just an example of how stuff can happen so quickly on a day. I mean, that loss that I took on that first one might be what, you know, I might make over the course of you know, a few hours of trading, which just given back, or, you know, it's taken away from me. So yeah, never be too confident, unless you've got reason to be. If you've been in this, you know, long enough time and you've got enough success to read the markets competently, then of course you can be confident, and you know, you've got an inclination as to what the market might do. I'm not there yet, so it's a case of just being you know, just cautious of what could happen, and just keep good results, good records I should say, and start small before scaling up. So coming into support here, looks like it's on a slight drift. (14 minutes to the off). So this, you can see the prices aren't as erratic. It's going to punch through that support there. So it's a bit calmer. Just a bit more time to think as how I can position myself rather than being 5 minutes from the off, and of course a lot more time to fix shit if something does go wrong. Yeah, okay. So I'm looking to short this just because I feel it's broken support and has a possibility of moving lower, but also this looks like it's been breaking resistance and moving higher. So for that reason, I'm willing to potentially take a short on this if the market lets me, or potentially take a long position on this. Okay, I've got filled, so let me concentrate on this one. So it's going back up into that resistance and falling away. And because it hasn't kind of impulsively moved lower, which is what I was wanting to see, I have just put my exits accordingly. And it is, slightly ticking up, so it could viably be higher lows. Just looking to thin it until I get some better confirmation. This viably could be a better one to be long on, but I don't want to be chopping and changing too much. So, oh, you know what? I haven't checked my mic. Oh, thank fuck. It's recording. Just playing a bit defensive there. I'm just looking at this potentially, starting to drift harder, which just made me less confident in the movement. The dynamic of the chart had changed slightly, so I wasn't as convinced of a move lower. However, this second favourite does look interesting to be long on, but so it's more readable. You can see the higher highs, higher lows, but really I would need to be seeing what I was anticipating in this one come to fruition. It's just this chart's a bit easier to read. There's easier reference points, but it basically means this starting to come in, or at least go and meet support. So just going to preempt it slightly. So gone in relatively light. And it's starting to kind of consolidate around this, so there might be scope to steal a few ticks on this. This does look like it could be building resistance, so it's struggling to move higher, and for that reason I've entered a short on this. So I need to basically see these levels persist to be support to help push this higher, and this to effectively move in, at least to find, you know, from resistance to support to help push this up again. Still got time, 9 minutes to the off. But yeah, see, that's drifting, that's not helping me. Put something out of the money just in case there is a dramatic move. Just reduced the position there. I've got, I mean, there's not much money at this, but I've got decent position in case there is more money that comes in between there, comes behind this. Wrong side of it. Going to revise my expectations. So pull down the take profit. This is shifting hard, but it is potentially going into resistance at these highs. You could see it pull back down. Okay, got filled on that. Okay, gonna green on this and go. Just because I felt more comfortable in that one. You can see with the bigger lead time to it. 10 minutes on this one. So let's have a look here. What's this? So this favorite here has come in, steamed in. Looks like it's broken previous support, so potentially looking to short that. Second favorite here, similarly priced, has been, I mean, it's broken down, but just cautious of these previous lows that it's encountered, possibly also moving past those lows. This one jumps out as a steamer, sorry, drifter. Come on. How do I play this? So $86,000 matched as well, decent amount of money. Tight book. Wonderful. C'est magnifique. What can we do on this one? So 275 is a reference. Really? If only there was a better chance for this. It's above 275, so I'm guessing 2.8 maybe. So I've put in some tentative shorts in here. So I'm seeing this, or at least in the ladder, starting to move up, bounce off support. Might have missed it. And this is approaching its lows, but there has been a bias to it creating lower highs, which could gear it up to bust lower, which it looks like it's doing, but I'm just no skin in the game yet. Ew, dear. Yeah, so it's right on that. So it is breaking lows and moving lower. But yeah, late to that party, mate. Late. What else can I see? This in fact has come the favourite, so that second favourite is now the favourite. I've left these orders in here in anticipation it's going to find resistance and potentially move lower again. I've got filled on those. So what I'm saying with this position is this is gonna pull back and then potentially move lower again. This is gonna find support and potentially move higher. So I'm happy to maintain the position, but just wary. Like if it breaks these highs that we're seeing here, it's just encountering them again. That would be not so great. Just added another position, which, to be honest, wasn't. I'm averaging down, so I'm adding to a losing position. It's quite a heavy position, isn't it? Definitely wasn't too happy with that last move, but we'll see how this pans out, because it looks like it could be finding resistance at those previous highs to move down, and this has found support. So I will maintain, and I will move up my take profits as well. But this is quite a heavy position in relative terms. But there's still context to it. Finding support, finding resistance. So hoping to see this move down. 7 minutes C off, so still got time to work with. Decent position queue on this one. £22 needs to be matched before I'm filled. So if it dips into it, that could be okay. But yeah, just have to wait and see really. Oh, this is seeing some, it looks like it could have broken support. Just the chart hasn't updated yet. That will not help me. Mm, 6 minutes. Still willing to maintain, because the market hasn't proven me wrong as of yet. It hasn't proven me right, but there's still context to this. So unless that break up there, so things are starting to change in terms of dynamics. I think that's broken higher. No, okay, it's maintained as resistance, so I'll stay in. So I've got one of those orders matched, so I'm thinned out my position slightly. Just going to take this one here. Okay, and hopefully this will get filled as well. Oh, still got one position in there. So, whew. Well, yeah, one of the reasons there is why it kind of makes sense to, and it's just jumped down there as well. So I could have stayed in for more, but I didn't know that was going to happen. But that's one of the reasons not to panic too much and let the market tell you kind of what to do. You know, I could have just panicked there and think, shit, this has gone against me, I'm losing money. But I had time on my side. Still 5 minutes the off. And that was another one where I gave myself, 10 minutes just to what is going on? Why does it do that? Fuck's sake. Sorry, just trying to get to the next race, but this thing keeps disappearing. Okay, let's pin that. So yeah, definitely felt more comfortable in those last two, where I gave myself a bit more time. So that could be, again, too early to say, but I was going to say secret sauce. There's no secret sauces. That could just be more suited to the way that I trade, just not going too near to the off. But I just want to get a few more samples, really. Good thing about recording all this is I can just see back how far before the off I was when trading, where I made losses, where I made profits. So yeah, if you are doing this, I encourage you to do the same. Just record yourself. Don't necessarily need to publish it for everyone to see like I do, but yeah, that could be a good method to improve your strategy if you're having any problems. We've got here the 12:47, 10 minutes to the off. It's a bit thin in terms of liquidity. 25 grand match with 10 minutes to the off isn't great. There is some readability in the charts. I'm just gonna see. So I've moved on to the next one after that, which has 18 minutes to the off, which is quite some time off, but there's readability in this as well in terms of the charts, which I'll go over in a sec. And there's already almost 40 grand match with 18 minutes to the off. So this is a higher liquidity race. It's a better quality in terms of tradability, and I can see stuff in the charts that could build a story around. So here we've got the favorite here. It's steamed in, just kind of at its lows at the moment, all-time lows. Second favorites come in, consolidated, found some support, slightly starting to drift now, potentially going to the previous support, or could be resistance of these previous area here that it was consolidating. This has been a major drifter, although coming in a pullback here, potentially finding support of that level. But yeah, much higher odds. So let's just see what we can see here. So a cursory glance, be thinking maybe short this, maybe go long on this second favorite, but just trying to get a heartbeat for what's going on before jumping in on that. Thank you too for on YouTube, got a few new followers there, appreciate that. Had my first comment as well, which is great. Any questions that you have as well, feel free to leave a comment. I'll try to answer them if I can. Again, I'm not an expert at this. So yeah, do like and subscribe. The idea is to do this every day, uploading to or streaming on Twitch, and I'm then uploading to YouTube. So watch my successes and my failures. If it brings you joy or helps you, great. So it is a bit more sleepy because we are still quite far off from the off, but just trying to see what I can plan around this. 7275, just lower than, okay, so it's this level. So that's going into threes. So it's like this threes was the resistance. Now I could just be looking to potentially short that based on that being quite a strong resistance area, but that would be contrary to what I'm anticipating on this, because I'm anticipating that this could just push lower. So if I was shorting that, so selling at threes, that's saying this could go down, but that movement down is likely to see this move up. So I'm looking for some kind of congruence in my decision. If this break threes, that would be great, because that would be, you know, diversion from what this one was doing, or divergence from what this one is. Kind of inversely kind of correlation, as this was moving down, this was moving up. So overall, I'm thinking, right, if this breaks threes, that would be potentially a good opportunity. And if this, it's hard to see with these charts what this number is it's breaking. If I had better charts to determine the exact number, then I might be looking to short that. But the idea is here to potentially go long on this, at least for now, if it breaks threes. 13 minutes 45 seconds till the off, so time to maneuver. Just gonna have a quick reorder just in case anything is substantially drifting or coming in. So this is approaching freeze. In fact, I'm preempting it again. So I took a position there just before three because I was seeing this movement here, and I could live to regret that. But hey ho, I went in light. Oh no, I don't want that break even. I want to go threes here. Went in light for the preemptive break. Added to the position as well without confirmation. So again, that might not have been the best move, but the idea is at least it could find resistance at this level. So I have added to that. So that's 6 net position that I've got there. So if it does at least come into threes again, then I will get this out. There is still scope to, you know, exit a break even. But, you know, ideally what I'm hoping for is a bigger move to it break resistance rather than just meet it. So this coming in harder would help that, or, you know, a chunk of money behind this could help push it higher. Yeah, Fruit Shoot 82. Yeah, good point. You mentioned it. If click on this, I don't think you can see the additional screen come up, but clicking on it brings up a bigger screen, which you can then stretch the chart of. Good point. Very good point. Thank you for that. Thanks for watching as well. Hopefully your training's going well, mate. I don't know if you've seen the start. It's been a bit of a choppy start today. Made a few losses in the first few. Just going to move this down a bit. So get more of a sense in this now that it's not really going to potentially... It's consolidating more and it's pulling away from that resistance. So just lowering my expectations, if you like, in terms of what it could do. But still good probability it will at least go up to hit that take profit at break even, or just over break even. So you can see how this this is, in fact, this is one of the reasons why it would make more sense to wait for the break in terms of going long on this, because you can see in the previous price history that there's so much resistance there, and it's come into it again and it's failed to move much higher, which is why certainly if it does break, it's likely to be quite a rapid move higher. But I was preempting that break by getting in, just underneath resistance in the expectation of getting a better price. It's going to move, much higher than, which is fine in terms of the prices I got in. It's okay, because even if it does what it's doing now and just finds resistance and then pulls back, at least where I've got it, it's attempting to steal a few ticks as it oscillates. But in the grand scheme of things, that's not really all this money's building up. In the grand scheme of things, that's not really what I want. I don't want to steal ticks. I want to make, bigger, be on the back of bigger moves. 8 minutes see off, some money coming in. Not too, don't want to be too skittish about that. I have got filled. So it's broken threes. Let's see if we see that push higher now. So you can see, after being so so I'm anticipating it's going to find support now off a freeze after it's breaking that resistance and then edge higher. And you can see in the chart here, this was such a strong level of resistance. It has a likelihood, again, nothing is guaranteed, it has a likelihood of falling back into that, finding support and then moving higher. So I am maintaining position based on that that assumption, that hypothesis. But I can't be too greedy at the same time. Just being aware of what else is happening in the market. I'm at the touch now and I've got filled. Fair enough. So yeah, this could be the, you can see all of the ones where I've basically given myself more time, not traded the last 5 minutes, I've made profits on. The ones that I've made losses on was when it was like 5 minutes to the off, where it's a very different market, because there's just more money in, there's more volatility, which I haven't been able to capitalize on. I know, a lot of the the stuff that I have seen, on YouTube or other traders, is they always say, trade the 5 minutes before the off, which is, but I'm letting my results speak for me, really. So that doesn't seem to be the case for me, at least with what I've done. So we've got 12 minutes to the off. Favorite drifted, hitting what it's all-time highs here. It's that, just finding some resistance. Second favorite, these look very closely correlated. This has moved in, this is this has moved out, this has moved in, this has also moved in quite aggressively. This seems to have an even stronger correlation to this one. The third one and the first one are quite inversely correlated, which gives me some good context. This here has approached fours, found support at fours. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm anticipating this could move into fours and potentially break it, or just find support. But I don't want to get in at market. I just want to bet a fill on this, on that hypothesis. Just looking at this as well. This threes is looking like it's support. So there is opportunity, or potential in this, but I'm just trying to figure out how to structure the trade, if you like, so that I can minimize the chance of Losing money. 10 minutes to the off. What's that? Oh, I wish I could. Oh, let's have a look. Fruit Shoot 82. Mr. Start, watch your session yesterday and see. Yeah, yesterday was Fruit Shoot. Yesterday was interesting one. Did come out on top in profits. It went a bit, could have given it all back towards the end, in fact. But I did stop. It was actually a shorter day. Stopped while I was ahead on that day. Not just for the sake of stopping and fear of trading, but I felt I wasn't really, concentration was waning, and just I didn't want to continue with not giving it 100%, or not giving it the A game, which is really, I mean, you need to try at least to give your A game on this, or do it at reduced stakes if you feel that you're not quite on top of things. Obviously I can't do any more reduced stakes than I'm at the moment. This is the lowest possible, £2. But yeah, those are just different strategies and approach that you might have to. Okay, this looks like it's the major drifter. This is coming into support. This, I still feel this has potential to move lower with lower lows. I'm going to maintain that position for now. This one still looks like it could find support off of threes. But if it breaks through threes, then it could break, and then this could be the steamer, and basically break through, and then an entry, and that could be waiting for it to pull back to resistance and enter on a short then. Okay, so that's finding support. What does that mean for everything else? And that's a good question to keep asking yourself. What does this mean? Or, am I, if you're in a trade, would I still get into this trade knowing what I know now? Okay, so I've got filled on that. Just going to put in an exit trade there. Happy to maintain that to increase the position size. Oh, what are you doing now? Don't do that. I've got a exit trade in here. Just want to wait for this to get filled before putting in an exit, an additional exit trade, because the market could just shoot down and get filled without having the right position. So I'd be right on the direction, but just wrong on in terms of the entries, which happens a lot. So this is I'm still determining that this is a lower high. We could see some pullback and retrace in this. Oh, but that's broken threes. What effect's that going to have? Yeah, I mean the context of this is still bearish. What have I got? 6. I'm going to add to that slightly. Try and steal a tick as this potentially comes back down into support. Don't want to get too heavy on this. I do feel this area here could be resistance. But what doesn't favour this at the moment is this starting to come in. We've got two short price favourites coming in, which, you know, mathematically isn't helpful. This has started to come in as well, so I'm going to hold off on increasing position size for now. Looks like this resistance is still holding. 5 minutes to the off, so just moving outside of that comfort zone of time, really. Definitely less optimistic that this could break fours, so I've just moved this up to fours, which is where we've seen that support. So if there is a big chunk of money that takes all of this out, for example, it's likely to find support at fours, which is why I moved it up just onto it. But yeah, let's see how this pans out. Got this starting to move in aggressively. This looks like it's bounced a bit, which will help this. That break is fucked. Okay, let's move this one up. This chart hasn't updated. There we go, now it's updated. So things are changing. 4 minutes to the off. Can move that up. Coming into fives, anticipating some resistance. If it breaks fives, that does not help me at all, because it could then viably just be a complete reversal in trend, if you like. But at the moment it's gone into resistance, which is why I'm maintaining this position, at least for now. This strongly moving in now is not helping me. It's peaked above fives, but not convincingly broken it. So I've still got context to maintain this position here at what I'm deeming as support. But you know, what I want the market to do and what it does are two completely different things. 2 minutes to the off. Still finding that resistance at fives. Consolidating now. 2 minutes to the off. How do you want to play this? Gonna move that up. Slightly less optimistic that it could fall back down. There we go. I've still got 2 stake to lay off. Okay, break even. Again, didn't really, you know, the market didn't go in my favor, but didn't panic too much in terms of what it was doing. You could see I was carrying a loss there, but you know, I had at least, the more time I had on that, the more. So this is 8 minutes. Sorry, just the more time, because I had more time on that, there was more time to maneuver. Yeah, that is helpful, it would seem, for the way that I trade. So bearing that in mind, I'm just gonna go on to this one here. 15 minutes till the off. Favorite here. It's oh, these are quite high priced, aren't they? Oh, sevens. There's a decent amount matched on these, even though they're quite highly priced. I'm guessing the field's quite big. There's about 16 selections in this. So let's see what we can see. Favorite come in, steamed in, found support, consolidated for a period of time. Second favorite means come in, pull back, consolidated, pull back in again, found support at those previous lows. So a break of that, so that's sevens, isn't it? So a break of that sevens would be significant, and if that support holds true and it moves off of sevens, then that could be significant. Obviously, because these are such highly priced odds, or these are going to have less of an impact on each other, but there's at least some context there. So the play is basically looking for one to hold a support and one to break resistance. So I'm looking at both of these here, really, seeing which one could be more viable. One that breaks support I could short, the one that bounces I could go long on. Oh, hang on, that's broken support. So I'm going to try and take a position on this one. Tempted to go at market, but don't want to overpay for this. The other option is to take a long position on this. It's a bit of a sticky market because we are still a little way off from the off. £5 to be matched. Just added to that. So hopefully I'll get matched on that first position. Still got a second position in there. So let's move back up into resistance, what I'm deeming as a resistance. Have to be wary as well, actually, because these are quite high odds, so each tick is going to be worth more. Let me just see if I can lighten that before the market takes it out for me. So just lighten that slightly, because I'm at sevens, I'm using £2 stakes. So each tick here is going to be more profit, but also, more importantly, more loss. And I'm just trying to be wary of the downside. So that's broken support as well. So just react to that. Come on, it's going to bring this up. So I'm more inclined to think that this could act as support now, rather than break lower to make lower lows and lower highs, because this one here is, powering away. In fact, I'm going to take that order out and maintain this one. So a bounce off of sixes here, this moving up again, could help move this down, or vice versa. A move down in this could help this bounce, but the context I'm looking is for this to move down. That's what helps me. To be honest, who cares what actually causes it, as long as I've positioned myself to make money from it or reduce losses. That's all I'm caring about. But that's what I'm looking to see, a bounce off of this, or some money behind this, really, to push this lower. 10 minutes to the off. On the touch price now, about in the middle of that queue. Net stake of fours is finding resistance still off of the sevens. You can see it's just bouncing around within this very small kind of channel probably only two prices, like 7 to 6.8 or 6.6. So on the touch, in fact, what I'm going to do is just move that other, because I'm just reassessing like where my positions are. Does that make sense? So I had another take profit that was lower than 6.6, but looking at this, it's what I would need to happen is the price would have to make new lows from that to get hit. So that's kind of quite, you know, it's possible, but it's not probable. What is quite probable is it's going to come back into support at this level, and then, you know, potentially bounce or break. So that's why I moved that stop up to the more probable trade, at least for now. Of course, could be more aggressive on that, but just playing a bit defensive based on what I'm seeing, what's already been matched, what the market's telling me. So let's see if this can move into my take profit here and take some green off of this. £92 till the first order needs to get matched, and then I've put another. Oh, that's already been matched, isn't it? So 26 quid more, and then I can green. But yeah, don't want to be too preemptive. Okay, so that's done. Some green on that. You know, it wasn't the breaks that I was looking for. It's just consolidating, but hey, made some money off of it. And on to the next one. 15 minutes to the off. So, and I think that's just like, I guess, talk some more about like finding what your niche is, if you like, at trading. Pretty much all of the things that I've heard in the past is like trade the last 10 minutes, trade the last 5 minutes before the off, because that's where all the money is. But you can see I've consistently lost money when I've tried to do that. Of course, I haven't got enough, you know, data to strongly say yes, I have to do this, or, you know, yes, I must avoid that time. But that's the importance, I guess, of just not listening to anyone. Listen to other people, but just take on board and let the market be your teacher, rather than, you know, gurus or people who might trade differently from you. Yeah, you're at the end of the day, your P&L is your score sheet, so it doesn't lie. So find out what works for you. Yeah, not here to preach. So next one here, got 13 minutes to the off. Favorite here coming in. Ever so slight kind of steam, lower highs arguably. Had this lowest low here, could find support at that. This recent move here looks like it could be attacking that lows at 2.25, I think, or there is no such number. 2.26, so around here. It's the lowest low so far. Second favorite, quite choppy. Potentially finding support at these lows here, this low here, this low here. Reference point with these be this high here at 6.5. So kind of bouncing within that channel. Approaching sixes now. Third favorite here is a definite steamer, but quite high odds. 44 grand matched, 12 minutes to the off, 101 on the book, 101%, so it's quite tight. So decent trading positions, just need to frame the trade. So this coming into support is interesting. 225. It's about here, isn't it? So it could be finding support off of this level, which I'm deeming is 2.26. This going into resistance will help frame that as potentially moving higher. It's kind of already doing it. But I'm also just wary that this is a, you know, the downward pressure could just create lower lows and lower highs to break through that previous support. So not super eager to short that just yet. This 6s is giving a good reference point. Big chunk of money just came in there. So I'm looking to short based on this ranginess. So anticipating that it's going to find further resistance here and potentially move lower. I may just try and steal ticks on this if this gets matched. So we've got matched at 6s. Put in a exit for a tick. Not super big money. Let me just, I'm going to be a bit more, oh, should have left that in. Oh well, too late. I'll leave this in for now, based on this premise of this finding resistance and this going into resistance and potentially moving away now. But obviously if this starts to break higher, then that's an issue. Okay, so it's come back into support of these lows. I'm not anticipating this is going to break much lower, but we'll at least find support around this type of level. Got a decent position on this Q, but you know, anything can happen as it has there. So I'm pretty much the front of this Q, but it's just moved away on me. We'll maintain this. So if I get matched here, just try and take a couple ticks out. How long we got? 9 minutes till the off. Just going to have a quick reorder, see if anything's coming in. Nope. It's a bit sticky on this, but we'll see. As you can see, for example, the money's increasing, so more money's come behind it, but it's not getting matched, or because that would be going down. But okay, I've got matched on that, so I've got some green to work with, not a whole amount, a whole lot, but this premise is still holding true. Although these are starting to correlate now, so it's not great. So taking that second position, which has put me in £4 net. I've seen some signs that this could push higher. So break these previous highs. This coming in is not going to help me. What we got? 7.5 minutes to the off. Okay, got filled. Work here is done. Fuck right off. So 26p. Yeah, happy with the way I read that. This ranginess has persisted. Yeah, next. So yeah, 7 minutes to the off. If I had just been playing this by the 5 minutes that you know, the separation on most of these on a Saturday seem to be, then I wouldn't even be looking at this one as of yet. Even though it's starting to get a bit more lively, some of the readability goes for me. So we've got next one here, 130. So 130, 15 minutes to the off. Favorite fours or threes come in, found support. This low here, these lows here, this previous support here was arguably previous resistance where it struggled to move higher. So this level here at 3.5, well, it's not actually 3.5 because there's no such number in this, but just above 3.5, so 3.6, I guess. This level here is a key level, so wary of that. Second favorite here at fours, come in, just found support around fours, hasn't moved much lower. So breaker, that might be something to be. Oh, this looks like it's. Oh, hang on. Bloody hell! How many price at fives? This one here, because of the chart, you can't really. Even zooming in on this isn't really helpful. This is the calmer of them in terms of this ranginess, and there is some money on it, so range training, that might be an option. 13 minutes to off. So I mean, going for this one here, like, you could just steal ticks on this, but the range isn't very much. So you could go like lay at 4, back at 4.1, but yeah, all it will take is for it to break fours, and then you'd be fucked, or you've just taken a profit too early if it breaks up. So the risk to reward on that doesn't appeal to me. Fours. It's going into fours, or is it just before fours? It's just before it. So about here, I'm guessing 3.9. So it looks like it's finding resistance off around 3.9 and finding support on 3.6. This one is just the dark horse here. It's just you can't see it from the chart as much, but it's steaming in. It's approaching fives as well. It's just this little move here would be more pronounced if there hadn't been such a big move here, if it was a logarithmic chart. May sound counterintuitive, but the one that's really just catching my attention is this one for a range trade. It's a bit calmer and readability's there. How long we got? 10 minutes. Put position on that one. And with this, I would just be stealing ticks. I'm not looking for, I'm not anticipating big moves, but I am anticipating it will at least, before the 5 minutes to the off, at least stay within that range and probably not move much lower than sevens or go much higher than 7.6. So and this wouldn't really, I mean, I'm using small stakes here as well. I need to be wary that with bigger stakes, if this was like a £200 stake, this wouldn't be as viable. Maybe a £20, it would scale up to about 20 quid. But yeah, 100, 200, this market isn't ready for it. But yeah, it's just about knowing what you're trading really, or how the markets could react differently to different amounts of money. So £10 needs to be matched in this queue before I'm matched, or at least at this price. £5, so quite near the front of the queue. 1. And I think I'll look to attempt to steal a tick, so put in a position at support at 7s should that get matched. Well, I mean, it's partially matched. I've put that in before it's got fully filled, but hey ho. Just trying to be early enough to the game there. Hopefully that rest of that 71p will get matched. And now I've got Q position on this, so that will be a tick. And I've left this one in here. Should the price move up again, 8 minutes 50 seconds to the off. This is just caught my eye that it's broken 5s. Now it's coming back into 5, so it's finding resistance. So that could be a candidate for moving much lower. But it's just a limitation, really. And it's of the charts. I mean, a lot of my decisions are based on chart movement. But I'm not a programmer, but I can understand. I can read code. I can write bits of code, and I can understand the limitation for a piece of software. Let's just concentrate on this 1 sec. Okay, so acted there, greened up, 16p across the board. I can understand the limitation that basically a software provider like this one would have with the way that Betfair kind of gives that data, because to create that chart from a historical chart of all the data points that it's had, I don't think the API gives that information. That's why when you see like the Betfair charts that stream, try and bring one up, where are they again? These ones like this, it's only the most recent, like, I don't know, minute, 2 minutes worth of data, and that only appears once you've opened the selection. If you go away from, once you open the race, if you go away from that and come back to the race, this will start again from naught and then start ticking along. The way I trade, that's not what I need. I need the whole entire historical price information so I can see support, resistance areas. And it's just, unless Betfair kind of improve on that, then my suspicion is it's not really going to be possible in these types of software. But hey ho, have to just work with what we've got. So on to the next one, chatting away there instead of moving on. So we've got 12 minutes see off on this one. Looks a bit thin just by looking at these charts, which is right. 26 grand or 23 grand matched. 12 minutes see off. Market does look a bit low on liquidity, and I just noticed that from the way the charts were kind of a bit not, don't know how to explain it. It just looked thin. So 10 minutes, 11 minutes, 11 to 12 minutes to go. Book could be tighter. Liquidity looks a bit thin. Favorite here, I mean, just looking at this, looks like it's drifting slightly, coming into resistance at previous highs, even going back to these highs here. So second favorite has come in, created new lows here, but it's kind of found support at its lows, potentially moving away or consolidating. Just had a quick reorder there. So it looks like the second favorite is now the first favorite. Just going to see what my options are in terms of other races after this. 43. Just not feeling the liquidity on this one. Just going to have a quick goosey gander at what's after this. See if my time might be spent better elsewhere. Yeah, immediately this is a much, just looking at the development of the charts, this is much better quality. 17 minutes till the off. I might, yeah, I'm just going to have my attention on this one instead. So we've got favorite come in, found support, consolidated, kind of stayed within this channel, not moved much higher than these highs here, not moved lower than these lows here. Second favorite, drifted, come in, found support. These lows here, looks like it's moving into those lows again, which is at 6s, so a crossover point. That's a good reference point, so we could look to potentially buy that support, or look for a break and sell it. 16 minutes and 45 seconds to the off. It's all good. And one thing I do like about these, horse racing markets, it is 7 days a week if you wanted. Whereas, financial markets is just Monday to Friday. Given it's not, it's not 24 hour, there is a time frame that you need to work within. But yeah, there's opportunity every day. And for me at the moment, the good thing about that is there's just opportunity to practice hours. So this is just broken 6s. So I'm just looking to see how this reacts now. So it's convincingly moved lower. So this could be a breakout that we're looking at. So what I'm going to do is position around that just to try and get in at a good price. It hasn't updated in the chart yet, but it looks like it's broken lower. There we go, marginally. So this here looks like it's found, hasn't convincingly broken resistance, but it does look like it's creeping higher. So I'm looking to short this, but I want to get in at a decent price. Might have missed the boat on that one, but I'm anticipating after it breaking, it's going to pull back, and rather than finding support off of 6s, find resistance to allow me to take a position on this. So I have got these orders in here that I'll leave, and 15 minutes off, so I've got some time to work with. Another thing to consider would be this here breaking these highs convincingly. So laying this as it moves higher, but try to focus on one thing at a time really. So waiting game, 14 minutes 45 seconds. It says creeping lower, isn't it? And this is moving higher. Putain. Mais c'est la vie, mon frère. So this has moved higher, come into resistance to these previous highs here. This has moved lower, but I haven't got any skin in the game. Ain't mad at you. Just going to do what's going to do. Just have a think about how I might structure a potential entry now. I think that was 4.6. 2.46. Could be a reference point to potentially get long on this. Convincing amounts of money coming behind this now, but I'm not going to just jump on that just for the sake of it, just because it's moving lower. It can be like catching a falling knife, which I hope everyone can understand. It's not something you want to do. I'll put something in a bit lower because I don't feel it can pull back all the way. Oh, okay, I'll tell you what. So big chunks of money. So I'm building a position. Oh no, based on this now potentially moving higher, because it's kind of that flip-flop action. As one moves in, there's a likelihood of the other moving out. Saw some erratic moves on this, so I've built my position on this one instead, and it is going against me, but let's see how this pans out. 8, it's a relatively heavy position. given the stakes that I'm using of £2, but we'll see. It's coming back into support now, which is fine. What I don't want to see is a reversal, which see, it's coming to meet these lows now. That does not help me. So I'm going to move this down. Not panicking just yet. 12 minutes to the off. Still context to at least get a break even or a tick. But just read that wrong, or was too late. I don't think I necessarily read it wrong, but I was just too late on execution, or didn't have a good enough position to capitalize on it. Is this, what is this, 225? So it's moving into these all-time lows around 226, 224. That is thinning out. That is okay. Dangerous game there. I've added to that position just because I was seeing some erratic moves on there, which should allow me to at least steal a tick or two as this moves into support. But yeah, that's a dangerous game. Averaging down, basically increasing the position, so increasing potential loss. Doing it again. I mean, I'm aware of what I'm doing. I'm not just, the buck stops with me. It's my own fault if this goes against me. But I'm willing to take the risk. It's a very heavy position. 10 does allow me to move my stealing that tick as well. Does allow me to move my take profit down. Oh shit! Oh, that was okay. It worked out okay. So it doesn't have to move as high now for me to be taken out of break even, but I just can't be too overzealous. Just finding nice support at these lows, which I'm trying to capitalize on, but at quite, stealing ticks is not necessarily the best way to go about it. But it's still got 10 minutes to the off. Got filled. This is finding, that's broken. That can help. So this is broken support here. Broken fives. So we could see some pullback on this. Oh, big chunk of money coming there, which doesn't help me, but it could, if that evaporates, which it did, that can actually be useful. So it didn't look like it was serious because it just came in there and then it went away. If it was serious, they would have kept it at the touch to try and get matched. So it could be someone just trying to spoof the market to move it lower, like scare people into jumping in front of the price, or it could be that they're actually moving that money down to get matched. Who knows? I certainly don't, but just trying to play around what I can see. So 8 minutes to the off, carrying a loss. Got okay position on this one up here, but the likelihood of it moving to that level isn't as likely. I'm just gonna again, risky business, but I'm aware of what I'm doing. I'm seeing this come in. There's decent money behind it, so I've added to that to, again, just trying to steal a tick on the retrace. Big chunks of money. And then it disappears. So, yeah, I mean, if you've got big money in this, or, you know, relatively sized account, you can kind of like spoof these markets, manipulate the markets to your advantage. You know, you wouldn't be able to do that if it was like Forex or stock, unless you had, as a you know, private investor. That's pretty tricky to do as a retail investor. So there are things that you could do if you've got a decent sized account and you know what you're doing, obviously. Yeah, I'm certainly not at that level, but it helps just to be aware of some of the tricks that can be done. Oh, 6 minutes to the off. So I've done some work here at chipping away at that loss, but still holding a £10 stake in a losing position. What's the market saying? The market's saying that we're hitting support. This is saying that this is still potentially moving down. Alright, I'm going to try and steal another tick or two. That's worked so far. So it's broken that previous resistance that it was finding, potentially approaching my you know, target of getting out. But just have to be wary that, you know, anything can happen. This breaking falls would definitely help me. Oh, which it did. Okay, we're going to try and put in another position there. What was that at? What did I lay at? 3-4. Oh, I think it was 3-6. Can't look over at the moment. Find a resistance off of fours. There is a gentle drift appearing on this, but yeah, I'm just kind of a bit stuck in it really. 5 minutes to go. Seeing some of that hard work on those, you know, ticks that I was stealing starting to evaporate now. Going back into this support. And this is starting to pull back, but it's just hitting that support again. What did I get in on this? Is it 3-6? 3-4? And the other way to look at this is, you know, my time could be better, you know, there's opportunity cost. My time could be better spent just cutting the losses on this, taking a 34, 32, whatever p loss, either looking for opportunities in the same market or, you know, moving on. So those are all options that are available to me. I'm aware of them, but, you know, ultimately, if this goes wrong, it's my own fault, because there's been opportunities to make other decisions. So this resistance looks pretty strong. This is for support. 3 minutes to the off. Big chunk of money got matched. So I've brought down my take profit to effectively take a loss on this. Got matched. Still got net £2 in here to lay off, which I will. There we go. So red up. So yeah, got out of it before the off. Not too much damage. and on to the next one. 10 minutes to off. Just gonna have a quick peek off screen, so just not looking at the screen at the moment. So okay, let's just have a look. Let's go through the P&L so far today. So started the day with a £1.57 loss, then a 12p loss, then a break even, 6p profit, 13p profit, 14p profit, break even, 11p profit, 26p profit, 20p profit, and I think that last one there was a 26p loss. So overall, so that one hasn't settled yet, but that'd be £1.05. So I'm down £1.05 on the day. So, all in all, not bad, because I've after that, out of kilter loss on the day, I've been able to eat back into that that loss, and only be £1 down on the day. So yeah, I think that's one of the important things, is just to remember not to let the losses affect you too much in terms of how you trade going forward, because I could have been just super angry at the first two losses, in fact, but it's just swings and roundabouts, because yesterday it was kind of the inverse of this. It was just green all the way, and then the last few kind of lost concentration a bit and took losses there, but still up on the day. But one thing I think I found today, at least, is with the time that I'm trading before the off, it seems to be I'm more effective when I've got a bit more time to work with, rather than trading within those last 5 minutes, 5 to 6 minutes before the off. So that's just something to be aware. On a Saturday, there's just shit tons more races than you'll find in the week, but they're closer together. So for some traders, that might be opportunity. Like, shit, yeah, if you can trade that 5 minutes before the off, it's just bang, 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 trade after trade after trade next. But that hasn't been my experience. It just seems to be these ones further from the off I do better in. So we've got one here now. You can see I've moved on from that other one that was like 7 minutes to the off, but this one here is 14 minutes to the off. Got a favourite at odds on, just around, finding support at these twos, but a very narrow channel, so it's just kind of traded marginally higher than twos, but it's finding support here. Second favourite, very similar price action, at least in recent times, came in same as this one and then consolidated, and then these ones are just a bit more nothing to really read into in those, and are much higher odds. So we've got some basically these are doing the same thing, although this looks like it could be marginally drifting, just broken potential resistance there, which would mean I anticipate this could break support and move excuse me fuck, and move lower. But yeah, with these, because they're quite shortly priced, I'd anticipate they any moves, dramatic moves, will be inversely what's the word, they would move inversely. So as this one goes up, or I'm anticipating this one could move down, this one would move up. Don't want to be I don't want to fall in love with that idea, because that's one of the great ways to lose money. But what I'm doing here, in fact, because it's at ones, I'm going to increase this slightly. I'm going to go on the premise that this looks like it's edging marginally higher in terms of breaking to make new highs, which could see this push past, push lower than twos. I'm using a bigger position here because as it goes into ones, each tick is going to be like less profit if with £2 stakes. So that's why I've got slightly bigger position in this one. But I'm still keeping that risk in check. It's not out of kilter in terms of, you know, the profit or loss that I would make. So we've got a £10 stake looking to get matched. £59 needs to get matched before I get matched. Still at twos. So once, or if this gets matched, I'll be probably looking to take out some of the position just for a few ticks. Won't be much, so partial exit. So it's taken out my first position at what I'm deeming is resistance in this very narrow channel. And I've put a position in at what I'm deeming is support to take out some of the money. But it has edged a bit higher. Nothing to panic about just yet, because it's just finding resistance, which, you know, I didn't anticipate would happen, or I'm expecting it to happen. This is all within the realms of probability at the moment, in terms of probability being my favour where I've placed these. So the fact that I've got this at support, where the price could move, you know, has a very good likelihood of moving lower into, means that I'm working within the realms of what's quite probable here. Me going for a take profit, you know, down here, or, you know, all the way down here, it's possible, but it's not as probable. So it's really just keeping an eye. Oh, he says that, and it's moving away here. So this is broken higher. This hasn't reacted as of yet. I just need to be wary of that. Okay, so I've got filled, and it's come into twos. Let's see if it will break it this time. It hasn't done it convincingly. Excuse me. So it's reacted at twos. It's had a knee jerk up and then pulled back down again. It's come back into twos and it's finding support. It hasn't convincingly moved lower. And so I'm just trying to take out some of the position at support with something in for the bigger move. And you can see it's quite nuanced, but let's just move this up. Oh, what are you doing, you idiot? Move that one, but hey ho. If you look at these charts, they're the mirror of each other. So this one here, and just look at that little blip, boop, and then comes back in. This is the opposite. It's gone and then down and then up. This one's gone and then up and then down. So they are mirror images of each other. So let's see if we can get filled here. Filled. Cool. 8 minutes to the off. Green. Yeah, obviously there's going to be much more potential in this, but happy with that. So what are we looking at? 8 minutes. 60. Okay. Whoa. So the thing that just popped out to me, I just knew that this was going to be like just this here. The way this is like a really bold red on all of these, it's going to be shitloads of money match. And then I peeked up at the match so far, and it is 1.7 million matched. That is astronomical for a UK horse race. I think what it is, this and I've actually got, I think I've got a position in this because there is the free bet that why is there a liability showing? There's the free bet that Betfair give on this, and I was like, I didn't actually know how it worked. I just put in on whatever horse. It was like a medium price horse. So let's see. It was this one, Ribble Valley. I have no idea whether this could win or lose. I am showing a low liability here at the moment of £5, but that's not coming out of my my trading balance. It's basically a free thing that Betfair were doing. So there's obviously lots of people that are involved in this before the off. So that liability of there doesn't come out of my my trading account. It's just a free trade that a free bet that Betfair offer. So I'm just going to leave that, to be honest. I don't want to mess around with that. So if this comes in, I would win £36 and 10p. And then if it loses, then I wouldn't lose anything. It says £5, but that's the free bet. So let me, with that in mind, I'll just move into the next one. 20 minutes to the off, 11 grand matched. Poor quality. And this is the point where, you know, might do something silly, right? Something's just come in that's broken the rhythm, been used to being able to get markets 15 minutes before the off, trade them nicely, and it's like, oh, something's broken that routine. What can I do? I need to trade. I need to find the next one. Where's the next one? And then you see something like, you know, this is great, but I've already got positions on that. And then look at the next one. Oh, it's like 20 minutes off, 12 grand matched. Oh, let me do something on this. Fuck it. And that's where you could lose money, because it's just, you know, it's a shitty market here at the moment. Look at, there's a spread between the bid and offer. Sorry, bid and offer. I keep using market terms. Between the lay and back, you don't really want such a big spread. And what I mean by that is there's a gap. You can see how it's gaps between the best available back and best available lay. That's a massive sign of poor liquidity. You want them to be basically one tick apart, and, you know, bigger volume to be on each number. Triple digit, thousands on each number, which you're not seeing in this. In fact, let's just go back to the as there's time. Go back to that 405. And you can see here, look, this is the type of liquidity, and there's just movement in this market as well. Oh, it's beautiful, this. But yeah, already got a position. But yeah, hundreds here, you know, hundreds, thousands just on the book. There's no gap between the best lay and back. So it's a very tight, very efficient market. Any inefficiencies that do happen, you saw there it just gapped up. I don't know if you want to rewind this if you're on YouTube, but it gapped up, but then any inefficiencies just immediately kind of filled. Here, look, see, money comes in. There again, there's a gap, comes in, filled within seconds, milliseconds. So that's the type of market you want to be trading effectively. Or a smarter thing on this might be if I green up in play. Yeah, let me consider that. So this horse that I've got on at the moment, again, I don't know anything about this in terms of whether this has a chance of winning or not, but I would make basically £36.10 if it were to win outright and lose nothing from my account if it doesn't. What I might do, just to, you know, this is just outright betting, but what wouldn't be bad is, let's say if in running it comes into, how long is it? So I know, I don't know much about horse racing, but I know this is one of the longer ones. So there's not as much chance of an outsider or one at higher odds coming in very sharply. Whereas if it was a very short race, like 5 furlongs, then there's going to be a lot more volatility in play over, you know, a shorter period of time. But what I'll do, $3.5. Let's say if it comes into 3.5, Right, if it comes into 3.5 in play, I would make £6.93. So what I'll do is I'll just how do you make sure this goes in play? Keep all, save all. So I think that's going to hold it. Not too bothered if it doesn't, but yeah. So what I've done there, I mean, in play there's going to be some volatility in the price, or a lot of volatility in the price. So in play, if this favorite here comes into 3.5, then it will mean that my profit is spread across everything, and I'd make £6.93 regardless of outcome. So I don't need this horse to win, but I do need for there to be some volatility in play. So with that done, let's see, and hopefully that, I think that what I've done there, hang on, submit changes, I'll keep, yeah, okay, cool. So this means that yeah, I'm just going to move on from that one. So let's just get back on track. So next one was this is an Irish one, 15 minutes to off, still low liquidity. Not a very tight book. Patchiness. Gonna look for pastures new. 21 minutes to the off. Better amount matched. And it could just be as well, because there's such a big, I'm speculating here, but I mean, I'm guessing that because there's so much activity on that that race and so much action on it, people are just focused on that until that goes out, and then the money flows into the other races after it. But let's just have a look at yeah, so £1.05 down on the day. Everything's settled. Long time till the off on this one, 20 minutes. Well, let's break down what we're seeing. So we have got 30 grand, 32 grand matched. Not too bad considering how long is left. Favourites here, drifted for two very similar price top two here, but the favourite here has come in, drifted, hitting resistance, which was previous support of these lows here. So this support, where the price fails to go lower, is now acting as a ceiling. We're struggling to move much higher, although arguably we're seeing higher lows in this move up here, so that could be a sign that it busts through those highs, but it could also just find resistance. But we've got a reference point at least. Second favourite here, just notice there, it's popped through fives. A bit harder to read in terms of this movement here, but it's drifted out, it's come back in, steamed in, pull back, hitting resistance here, arguably these previous lows here. So what was support here has now fallen lower and then come back into that resistance at fives. So looking to short off of fives could be an option. And this far out, because I'm not anticipating as much volatility, I'm looking for potential rangy movement as well. So, and even at higher odds horses. So this, for example, the way it's found support at whatever number that is, let me just zoom in. So it's just above 8, so probably about 8.2 or 8.4. So this is finding support here and then just bouncing around between 8 and 10. Highs there are 10. So this support here could be something to play off. So the two viable things I'm seeing is a short on this for entry at fives. So I'm going to put something in at fives. above it. And support here. In fact, that probably wasn't 5s, was it? That's why these fucking charts. Yeah, it was. Okay. And this looks like it's building as support here, and this is building as resistance, which play off of each other. So as this one potentially moves higher, this will potentially move lower, but I'm trying to get a decent fill on this. And then with this one, what did I say? 8.4. So I've got, again, this can be a bit of a risky game if you know, get confused by what's going on, but I've put 2 orders into the market here. 2 markets into the order here. This anticipating this is going to move lower, but I need to get a good price on it. This in that is possibly going to make find support. Oh, what's going on? Come on, streaming. I think I'm still streaming, but yeah. Sorry, I think my internet connection has gone. I'm still on Wi-Fi, but that might have cut out for streamers there. But yeah, just have 2 positions here at the moment. This anticipating it's going to move up. This anticipating it's going to move down. But just looking for decent fills. Looking for a bargain. It's a deal. It's a steal. It's a sale of the fucking century, brother. Any lock stock lovers out there? Could be resistance off of 9s. Just trying to read the market. This resistance might be shallower than I thought. Could be off of 9s rather than 10s. Bit of a risky game. I'm going to go light on that. And obviously whichever gets filled, I will manage first. But it looks like it get filled here. It's just left a... Let's close those out. Oh, oof. I'm going to leave everything in. Messing around with those orders there. But this is why having multiple positions in at the same time can be super risky. Because you might get filled on everything at the same time, and then you're just having to split your brain around what to do. But at least with 15 minutes to the off, I know there's not going to be as much volatility. There's a less likelihood of it. So at least I can manage things. Should something, multiple fills happen. So I've got filled on that, so I'm going to cancel these immediately and look to manage this. So I've got these in here, so I've got actually position on that. These are actually in here in anticipation that we could see move higher, but I've managed to get a fill at 9s. This in fact done what I was anticipating and moved lower, but had no skin in the game. So Sailor B. Just gonna is that really the best move? So you see I've got a net position of 2 here, but I've got 4 overall. Okay, need to cancel that. Okay. So got filled, got profit, got green. 12 minutes to the off. Just cancel those orders just so I could reassess what was going on. Oh, come on, Twitch, what's going on? Got this drifting, got this coming in. Haven't really been on the back of either of those because I've been focused on these range trades. About 12 minutes to the off. Do I want to potentially have another position in? Let me just have a think. So definitely some missed opportunities on these ones. This coming in, these are just inversely correlated now. This is moving in, that is moving out. But my main focus has been on this one here. 11 minutes to the off. And yet profits, albeit low, just have to be careful that, you know, time's ticking down. Any new entries is going to jeopardize the profit and have the added disadvantage of less time to work with. So that's definitely something I've seen looking back at some of my older videos, is I have given profit back having made it earlier on. And I mean, the thing is as well, what I'm trying to do here, there isn't great profit potential in this. I'm just trying to steal ticks between support and resistance. These definitely have more, you know, legs to them, but I'm just a bit late to the game in terms of giving myself enough time to work with. I'm going to move on in this case. 16 minutes to off. Nice chunk of change traded there. 163 grand. Favorite come in, hit an hit a low here at some support, previous support, it looks like. These lows here. It's attempting to attack those lows again. Could find support or could break it. Second favorite here, very consolidation, lots of consolidation there. Viably just breaking a bit higher than that. Let's just have a zoom in on that chart. 6 point something. So 6.4 looks like it's the resistance area. Just have a reorder on those. So this has come in, or at least to overtake this one. Again, 6s as a reference point. But yeah, just want to hold tight to structure the potential trade. Just looking away from the screen at the moment, so So just had a quick peek at that 405 that was looking at Newcastle. My bet did not come in, lost. I just can see that from the way the odds have moved. So say la vie, nothing lost in terms of my money. It's an out and out bet. But yeah, that's why I don't like to bet. I'm not that lucky. or I haven't, it's not an art that I understand. At least with this, there's other skills that I can bring across from other stuff that I've done to interpret this type of market my own way, to give, I guess, my own type of edge in how I trade it. But yeah, I don't understand anything about horses or racing, so, which I think can also be to my advantage, because because I don't really care, or I'm like emotionally attached to any idea of any one particular horse winning or losing. It means I'm just looking at the numbers here, which could or might not be advantage, but it's just less things to think about, really. So just something caught my eye there. Was a big chunk of just a big chunk of money, about £2,000, but it disappeared. Didn't look like it got matched. That could have pushed it past sixes, which would make me more inclined to think this could be potential steamer, come in, get more bearish. This could be building support here. What I'm guessing is 2.8. Is that 2.8? No, it's a bit lower than that. It's about 2.78 or maybe 2.76. So a cursory glance, really. Maybe looking to go long on this, but short this. So some good confirmation would be maybe a break of sixes and a pullback to 2.6. 13 minutes off, so still got some nice amount of time to work with. Pushing lower, so makes this less likely that it's going to break sixes, but it could go up and hit resistance at sevens. If that finds support, that will help that. Here's what I'll do. So what I am preempting is that there could be some resistance as it goes into these highs at sevens. So I've put a position to, potentially trade that. So this is going to have to find support as well at its lows. Again, these charts are just hard to read because of the size, but I think that's wherever this support level is, whatever number that is, it's going to need to find support there. But is that persisting? Is that broken? I'm going to cancel these, because that could mean this is now going to break sevens. So a more conservative trade, rather than trying to fade that resistance, is to wait for it to break and then pull back into sevens. Or this one here. The only issue that I'm having with this one is I can't accurately determine what the level it's broken was. So I'm potentially looking to okay, wait, I'm going to short this. I feel there was enough movement there to at least make a decision to short that. Happened quicker than I can explain it, but got some skin in the game. If that pushes past sevens, it's definitely going to help. So although I'm not long on that, I am short on this. Okay, that's added to my position. So we've got more skin in the game. Just happy to maintain this at least for now. Some chunks of money coming in, but if that goes, then that could collapse. This is still persisting at sevens. Not convinced this is going to go, you know, much. At least there's going to be some pullback for it to move lower, to at least approach these lows again. Break of sevens would make me more convinced that this could, you know, break lower, break support. Have got some profit off the table now. Just going to play defense and take a smaller profit if the market lets me. Oh, sugar. Still got another position to lay off. Oh, shit. Double tapped. Ugh. Fat fingers. There you go. Making mistakes still. Just so I double tapped on that, so I was net long, which is not what I wanted. Okay, it has broken sevens. So have jumped in on this now. Just because it's broken sevens, this is persisting in. So just trying to build a position on this one. Have got some green, 8 minutes see off. Just have to be careful not to give anything back to the market, or, you know, lose the hard work. So I'm anticipating this now is going to find support off of sevens and then potentially move higher. So I'm just going to position some exits based on that premise. This is moving strongly down, which I'm hoping will help move this out. Not seeing it yet, but so I've got 2 partial exits in, set £6 net stake overall. So you can see I've got all my closing positions in there, but just need to be wary that might need to drag down any of these to take a lesser profit, just to protect what I've got already. Persisted to move lower. Has broken, but being a bit stubborn in moving higher, but is still at least finding what appears to be support off of sevens. This out the corner of my eye looks like it's still moving in. Still moving in, but this isn't drifting. If there's anything else drifting, just reordered there. So this now is the 3rd favourite. Six minutes to the off. I will maintain this position, but just wary that I might need to make some adjustments. And the reason I maintain it is the market hasn't yet said that I'm wrong. So I'm not, you know, I'm using the market to guide what the price action is doing. I'm using the price action to help guide my decision. You can see a chunk of money coming there, which seems serious. It hasn't disappeared, it's getting matched. That could help this move higher, which is what we want. Pressure on this down still seems very very evident, but it is just finding support. Like the man said, 5 minutes to the off. This is just consolidated forever here. So what you gonna do about it? A stake of 6. Now I could lessen the position, or attempt to lighten the position. The problem is if it breaks support and breaks 7s lower, especially after this long period of consolidation, should be more money coming in now. I'm gonna lighten this. So this will bring my net stake down to 4 if this gets matched, right at the back of this queue. But there is money coming through. 53 grand matched on this, so it's 7s, so that's a whole lot of money. 300 grand matched in all. So just waiting patiently in this queue here. Oh, no, don't move that one. Move this one. So you can see there I was about to move that one down. But what that would mean is I lose position on that in that queue. So it made more sense to pull the one that was way out of the money down to get matched. Or just enter a new one and cancel that one. Swings and roundabouts, really. All the same. But 2 minutes 45 till the off. Support is very stubborn here. Just gonna, as time's ticking down, I don't want the market to make the decision for me, or I have to, you know, get out just because the time's ticking down. So the nearer we get to the expiry or the off, the more risk there is. So as a result, just reducing. I did make green on this, didn't I, quite early? Not a whole lot of green. You can just see how long it's just consolidated at these two prices. 1 minute 40. Ooh, Ooh, no. Might have been too late to try and get out of this at break even. And it's broken that support. This is just drifted like, yeah, this is massively drifted now. So I'm just trying to get out at break even. Would it be break even? Yeah, it'd be just over break even, I think, because of the profit I'd made on this. No, it's probably less now. Small loss because this has started to drift, meaning that the profit per tick is less. Oh, okay, no, it's break even. There we go. 1p or 0 is my outcome on that. So yeah, that's another case where trading more didn't really favor me, but was able to look after capital, so not making a loss, but not making profit either. So let's just see what I am on for the day. The old P&L should all settled by now. It's about minus 90p on the day now. So 225 was that last one. 232 would be the next one. There's only 6 minutes to the off. So here's the old comfort zone. 15 minutes before the off. 34 grand match. Not amazing, but workable. Tight book. Favourite come in from twos. At twos come in. Looks like it's broken recent support to make new lows. Second favourite, sixes. So crossover that could act as resistance. At least we're looking at the chart. It has moved down. Could be moving into that resistance to potentially move lower. Third favourite here, also sixes, just broken resistance. Sevens. Was that? No, 7 whatever, 7 and a bit, 7.6 I guess. The one I'm favouring is shorting this. Actually. I do like the reference point that the sixes is giving on this one, but I'm hesitant because this is coming quite strongly as well. So this would need to be finding support to give more credence to shorting this potential resistance. But that support will take a little while to materialize. Oh dear. Okay, let's just have a quick reorder. Just looking off screen for a sec. What are those lows at? 2.7 something. Probably around there. So I've missed that. What I'm anticipating is there's going to be a pullback. I'm trying to read what these lows were so I can get in at that. It's already kind of moved away anyway. Shit. This hasn't updated. It's going to move to attack these lows now. So that could mean some drift in some of the other ones. So just seeing if there's any evidence of that. I'm favouring this on a drift, but it is a case where I could be buying into that resistance. So I'm going to try and place one at sixes here. The anticipation is could fall back into 6 before potentially moving higher, which would also correlate to a break here. There's some money coming in on that. A break here much lower to break these previous all-time lows. $11 minutes to off. Got filled on that first one. Just putting a closing order there. So I need this support here to maintain. And this to break support now and move through move through it. Just attempting to steal a tick here, but then leave something in for a few more ticks. So I've got net position of 6. I can see that on my corner of my eye. It's just moving up, but this at least is maintained as support here, just above 6s. 10 minutes to the off. Alright, I'm going to put in, just seeing this hold as support still doesn't help my position. Want it to break. We'll see some money coming on this side to help potentially move it up. It's dipped into 6s again, dipped just below it. Again, not helpful for me. This is drifting still. Oh, 10 minutes see off. Just going to play defense, bring that down. This is moving away on me now, but not overly fussed, just in terms of where my positions are. But obviously this could just run away. It has, oh, it's broken that support as well. This support's held him. It's not looking good, but I've got a few reference points. 5s here could hold. Still got time on my side. Now it's pulling back, but that could be in the context of it, you know, coming up to attack these highs again, or it could just be a higher low. Looks like it's the former, because it hasn't updated in the chart yet, but it looks like it could be at least attacking 6 again. So it's come up to attack the previous highs. So it's more of a channel movement rather than a lower high. This moving in will help this position. Got filled at the touch on this, got filled on that. Yep, okay. Break even, well, not break even, 6p profit. But again, a good reason not to panic. I could have just, you know, seen that running away on me and thought, right, let me get out of this, cut losses. But I had time on my side for it to at least, you know, pull back and me get matched. The position wasn't too heavy, so there's nothing really to sweat over. It's proportional to the amount of risk I was willing to take and the probability of the setup. So yeah, got out that time unscathed. In fact, you know, taking a marginal profit, but just got to bear in mind, you know, those bigger losses that come in. These little ones help chip away at it. But yeah, if I can keep strike rate up, then of course that means overall more. You know, if I can get lots of and as well, the other thing, sorry, just all over the place with thoughts, but deviating. The fact is that those first few trades were taken outside of what I've seemed to be proven as my comfort zone is, you know, 15 minutes before the off. So that's one factor. Like, when is the timing of a trade? When, you know, when am I trading in relation to when the volatility is going to be there? That's one aspect. So by sticking to further out from the off, that has helped. I haven't. I think I've made one loss so far. When I've traded within that time frame, and then also how much I lose when I do lose. So when I was trading 5 minutes before the off, the loss was, you know, much larger, as £1.57, compared to, like, that last one there is minus 26p. So that loss is more in relation to what my typical win is. So that means, you know, the expectancy, if I were to continue trades, you know, around 15 minutes to the off or more, I would have a positive expectancy if I maintain a, you know, a profit to loss ratio like I've been doing. That said, anything can happen in the next trade and everything could just go to shit. But those are at least my observations for today. And yeah, I think the more things that you trade in, the more experience I can get of these type of things, and just notice these little nuances. So when I do scale up, I can just take advantage of that. So moved on to a race now with a bit more time to the off. 29 grand matched. 17.5 minutes. Tight book. Favourites coming into 5.5 as resistance potentially. These previous highs here, it's just moving into that, but we're seeing higher highs and higher lows as this moves higher. So 5.5 is important, or maybe it's 5.4. Can't quite see. Yeah, I think it's 5.4. It's going to be our reaction point, like a pivotal point in terms of whether it finds resistance or falls away and finds or breaks that resistance and moves higher. Second favorite here currently is sixes, drifted with a odd spike there. Doesn't seem like it was backed by any volume of money, so that's quite an anomaly in terms of how that's done. But hey ho, could have been something else money coming in elsewhere that's caused that, but I'd expect blips in the other charts around the same point if that was the case. Maybe this one. These look quite correlated, these two. So this one, although it's a bigger range, so it looks tighter, the actual movement is, it's mirrored in this one. It's just a gradual drift with a massive spike and then pull back. Spike, pull back. So those are quite correlated, at least for now. These two look inversely correlated. So this has moved up on a drift. This has come in on a steam. Just observations, at least for now. Nothing to really trade off. 15 minutes to the off. So what can I determine as a potential trade? Just waiting for something to really pop out at me. Ideally scream. Scream, I'm likely to do this. Not seeing that as yet. Just enlarge this. So yeah, it's just sitting on hand really till something becomes clearer to me. I'm not gonna jump in just for the sake of jumping in or boredom. How you lose money, and we don't want to lose money unnecessarily. And that's the key word, I think, unnecessarily. You can't be fearful of losing money, otherwise you're never going to pull the trigger, never going to scale up. So yeah, it's a balancing act. Oh, looks like it could have broken highs there. But so is this. Yes, that balance between fear and greed. because if I was fearful to pull the trigger and take a position, then opportunities would just pass me by. So that's just too defensive. But on the same breath, if I'm too aggressive and take too big a position without there being reason to, then the market's just going to take money away from me. So it's really a case of finding a good point somewhere in the middle between fear and greed. Believe me, I'm still searching for it. So this here looks like it's broken to make new highs. It could be coming back into support. I'm going to put it at 5.4. Just so I can get a decent value for money entry. And a few orders below as well. So like I said, these two seem quite correlated. So, I mean, I could be looking for shorts on this, maybe at 7s. But in this instance, I'm looking to lay. 11 minutes to the off. Just have to be wary of potential consolidation and then reversals. Okay, got filled on all of those. So put in 2 closing orders there. On the touch on this final one. See if that gets filled. So you can see it's come back down, hit support. What I'm deeming could be support at 5.4. To potentially move higher. So I'll be willing to take this fill if it happens. It's a good price, but obviously if that doesn't hold and it moves much lower, well, it's not what I want to see, is it? Also don't want it to move off before getting filled at the same time, but hey ho, I've got skin in the game. That's kind of what I want to see. Just going to pull this down a bit, just because not much has been matched above it. So got filled on all of those positions. Got my closing positions in there. So just need to see the market start to find support now, allowing me to exit these positions. Support is still holding. Nine minutes the off. £86 needs to be matched before I am on this. Let's see if that happens. What else we got going on? Drifting, coming in. On the touch. Just not convinced I can see anything that is going to push this significantly higher, but at least a resistance. I think there's enough scope in here, which is why I've just been a bit more conservative with where I've placed that take profit, pulled it down. Support still maintaining. 8 minutes D off. It's slightly tricky to read because I can't see any like major divergence other than this. I mean, well, yeah, there's a perfectly kind of, yeah, but there's the movement in here isn't ideal. I'm going to move that down. So I've got, if this comes into this, that will allow me to hedge at 10, but that may or may not happen. So partially breaking lower, got okay-ish position on this, so we'll maintain for now, but just need to be wary that this support might not hold. Six minutes and a half till the off. This looks like it. I mean, if this breaks 3, it could help this push higher. This 2 breaking down, and this 6 is holding as support. Right, the overall trend on this has been up, and this is, if anything, has started to show gradual kind of steam. I'm just gonna pull down there to hopefully take out at a lesser profit, even though I feel there is still scope for it to, you know, at least hit that profit target. For the sake of a few pence, I would have got hit on that, but I'd made my decision, which I'm happy with. Gonna green up. Only 1p on that. How did that happen? Oh well. Yeah, I think I'm going to call it a day on this. So don't want to continue to trade beyond where my concentration is, you know, poor. There's probably going to be stuff later in the evening, so we'll take a break now. May trade later in the evening, who knows? But yeah, definitely call it a day for now. So I'll just go over P&L as a final outro, if you like. Let me just see if there's anything left that needs to be settled. What time are we at? 2:40, 2:48. So I think that's settled. Didn't trade that. Didn't trade that. All right. So, as a quick recap, so made, okay. So, started off with a £1.57 loss, then a 12p loss, then break even, 6p profit, 13p profit, 14p profit, break even, 11p profit, 26p profit, 20p profit, 26p loss, 15p profit, break even, 1p profit, 8p profit, and I think 1p profit on this one, 1 to 4p on the one that's just got to come in as well. So that puts me at a about 80p down on the day. Yeah, not major. I mean, it's not a terrible loss. I was able to get some of those early losses back. Again, not chasing them, but trading what I feel is responsibly. And again, one of the main things that I learnt today is trading too near to the off is detrimental to my trading. So had I not done that, then it would have been a profitable day. But I mean, you can't talk in it's hypotheticals. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. But certainly that had a impact on the P&L for today. But yeah, all in all, happy with that. So looking to be back again on tomorrow on Twitch. So you can follow me on Twitch for live stream around midday UK time. And then also it's uploaded to YouTube shortly after, usually within an hour or so, depends what I've got going on. But yeah, I will see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.